Max. I have another read aloud for you, and I picked out a great story called Biblioburro, and it's a true story from Colombia, and it's written by Jeanette Winter. And the reason I picked this one is because September is Hispanic Heritage Month. So this is a story that is true from Colombia. Deep in the jungle of Colombia, there lives a man who loves books. His name is Luis. As soon as he reads one book, he brings home another, and soon the house is filled with books. His wife, Diana, grumbles, "What are we going to do? Eat books with our rice?" Luis thinks long and hard, and at last an idea pops into his head. "I can bring my books to the faraway hills to share with those who have none. One burro could carry books, and another burro could carry me and more books." Luis buys two sturdy little burros, and he names them Alpha and Beto. He builds crates to hang on their backs, and then he paints a sign, Biblioburro, the Burro Library. Then Diana fills the crates with books. Did you know that another name for a burro is a donkey? Every week, Luis and Alpha and Beta set off across the countryside to faraway village in the lonely hills. This week they traveled to El Tormento. When the sun burns high in the sky, Luis and the burros stop at a stream to drink cool water. After they have their fill, Beto balks. And balks means he doesn't want to do something, so he's pulling away. Luis pulls and pulls on Beto's reins, but Beto won't budge. "The children are waiting for us." At last the burro gives in and steps across the stream. I think he just didn't want to get wet. Deep in the hills, the path is lonelier than ever. Bird songs are the only sounds they hear. And then, from deep in the shadows, a bandit leaps out. "Please let us pass," Luis says. "The children are waiting." The bandit scowls at the books, but he takes one and he growls, "Next time I want silver." The Biblioburro continues on its way over the hills until at last Luis sees houses below. The children of El Tormento run to meet him. Luis insists on reading a story before they choose books to borrow. "Today I have a surprise for you," he says, and he reaches behind the books and he pulls out a bundle of masks, little piglets. "Put on a mask and I'll read you a tale about pigs." What story do you think he's going to read? Can anybody make a guess? If you guessed the Three Little Pigs, you were right. Here they are. It says "Once upon a time." And then can you see here's the houses. The first one's made of straw. The second one's made of sticks. And the last one's made of stone. Bricks. And then here comes the pig. I'm sorry, there's the pig. And then here's the wolf. And he blows the house down. But he couldn't blow down the brick house. You think the kids like it? When the story ends, it's time for everyone to choose a book. The children hold their books close as they say goodbye and they walk home. I think they hold the book close because they're so excited they got to have a new book. Luis and Alpha and Beto head back over and around the hills, across the grasslands and streams, and into the sunset. At home, Luis feeds his hungry burros, and Diana feeds her hungry husband. But then, instead of sleeping, Luis picks up his book and he reads deep into the night. And far, far away in the hills, candles and lanterns burn as the children read borrowed books deep into their night too. And you look at all the little teeny houses here with lights on. It says here from the man who the story was about, Luis Soriano. People around here love stories, and I'm trying to keep that spirit alive in my own way. The Biblioburro is based on a true story of the life of Luis Soriano, who lives in La Gloria, a remote northern town in northern Colombia. An avid reader, Luis understood the power of reading because of his own experience as a school teacher. He wanted to share his collection of books with the children and the adults in the villages in the distant hills where books were scarce, which means they couldn't get a lot of them. Most houses had no books. Can you imagine not having a book in your house? Luis and his two burros began bringing books to villages in the year 2000. He started with a collection of 70 books that has now grown to 4,800 books, mostly from donations. Now the Biblioburro travels to the hills every weekend. 300 people, more or less, look forward to borrowing the books Luis brings. A small corner of Luis's world is enriched. And this, I have a connection to this story. I don't know if you guys have a connection to this story, maybe about going to the library, Ames Free Library, and getting a book. My connection is our book swap in our school. You can bring a book in, or sometimes you can just take a book even if you don't have a book for the first time, and you borrow one from me, and then you bring it back, or you get to keep it and give me a different book. So I kind of feel like I made a really nice connection to the Biblioburro story. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. Bye bye.